Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Kunwu Zen. This is the larger guy. Thank you so much to Kunwu Knives for sending this in for me to take a look at. Thanks so much to my generous patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. So there is a smaller one. It's right here. You may or may not have seen my review on the smaller guy. It kind of just depends on when you're watching this video. At the time of this recording, both of these knives are available. I'll make sure that they are linked right down below so that you guys can check them out if you want to. Let's go ahead and do a measurement. Overall length of the full size Zen is coming in at 8 1/4 inches. Blade length is coming in at about 3.6. It's more like 3.5. Cutting edge is coming in at about 3.4. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. What happened to the rat? There it is. Overall, well, not overall anything. Up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Rat Model 2. You can see here this is definitely closer to the size of the Rat 1. How about up against the Demco AD 20.5? There we go. How about up against the Spyderco Para 3? And I think last but not least, let's put it up against the Benchmade Bug Out. All right, how's the action on this guy? It is very good. It is extremely similar to other Kunwu knives that I have handled. It is about what you'd expect for a premium. This is a knife that is made in China, but we're talking about the premium side of Chinese manufacturing, and it is very impressive. The action is extremely similar to a lot of the, you know, more celebrated, I guess, the ones that are in your face, the Chinese OEMs that are making a lot of the popular stuff right now. It's about the same. In fact, it's better even than a few of them. So no double clutch or anything like that. Single, just like a thumb release. No issues whatsoever, really. The flipper tab, it has the same issue as the small one. It's just not quite as bad. If you light switch it, you're good. If you front flip it, you're good. If you use the little opening hole, you're also good. What you don't want to do is push button it, because what happens is this little parrot's beak can opener thing comes around and it'll pinch you. If you can avoid that, it's perfectly fine. There are no issues whatsoever. The action is great. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It is just a hair thicker, maybe just a hair. I'm curious, is it actually a hair thicker than this small one? Is it? Hold on a second. It is. It's just barely. Same with the blade stock. Let's go ahead and put it up length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This guy is about the same overall length closed as the PM2, a hair shorter maybe, but it is nowhere near as tall as either. If you're used to carrying knives about the size of a Para 3, this is going to feel a little bit bigger for sure. What are we looking at here from materials? We are looking at titanium and Elmax, properly heat treated Elmax, as I also said in the shorter version. I'm saying this because I don't know when I released them. I don't know if I released this review first or the smaller one first, right? What I said in the smaller one was, this is Elmax, and it is properly heat treated. Elmax, in the case specifically Elmax, should be at 60 or higher Rockwell, preferably anywhere from 60 to about 63 from what I understand. And they are hitting that mark, right? We do not want to see Elmax and some other compositions that have a similar optimal zone at 59 or less, and oftentimes that's what we see, especially when we're looking at M390, which has a very similar optimal zone. It's important to remember that not all compositions need to be at 60 or higher to be considered good. In the case of steels like 1095, their optimal zone is actually quite a bit lower, right? So when it comes to Elmax, this is hitting that mark, and I really appreciate it. I know a lot of people who are buying knives in this territory really want to make sure that it's being properly heat treated, and Kunwu is doing a really good job of that, so I wanted to make sure and point that out. Timascus pivot collar, too, before I forget, if I didn't say that already. Weight. By the way, these are milled out for weight reduction. We can see, ouch, on the inside there. Yeah, weight reduction, so that's nice. My guess is this is going to come in at 4.5 to 4.75 ounces. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, lower, 4.20 ounces of weight. So there you go. Not terrible ratios, not perfect, right? 4.2 ounces for 3.5 inches of blade. Definitely pretty good for a full-size knife. I can't complain too much. This does come with the tool required to disassemble the knife, which is also just a nice little thing that Kunwu does. They usually send extra stuff with the knife, so that's cool. We're going to use my tools today so I can plug them. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. You can use whatever you want. The pivot is a T8, and that's great, and that rhymes. The rest of the hardware is a T6, which is not my favorite thing in the whole world, but it's minimal. One of the screws actually goes through the clip, which is cool. This is a very simple knife to disassemble and maintain. As long as you have quality tools and a place to put your hardware, you should be just fine. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness. As I mentioned, it does have a slightly thicker blade than its little brother, which I think came in at about 120 thousandths. This guy's coming in at about 135, which is certainly not thick. In fact, that's kind of the exact middle of the road for the knife world, right? Ask somebody who has literally uploaded 3,000 videos. 135 thousandths is about the median. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes here. Right off the bat, this guy is way more comfortable in my hand than its little brother. Why? Because it's got a longer handle. It is much easier to choke back and stay behind the flipper tab on this guy and still be comfortable than the other guy because I don't feel like I'm smashed up against the flipper tab. It is still not a perfect ergonomic experience, but it's pretty good. The edges are nicely knocked down. I mean, you get a lot of style here for it still being comfortable. Sometimes you kind of have to give up style, you know, for the knife to be comfortable. It kind of has to look like a dying pelican. But in this case, we get something that looks a lot cooler, in my opinion, and it's still very comfortable. It is dramatically more comfortable choked up. This is a pretty good nut. It's not really, it's kind of a halvesy choil, but it's still very comfortable, especially considering we have a flipper tab here. It's just the slant to the flipper tab allows you to get up here and feel pretty good. Definitely comfortable. Like I said, no double clutch. Very easy access to that lock bar thanks to some scalloping on both sides. Really appreciate that. The blade looks really good. It's kind of a sheep's footy thing. I like these blades that sort of have the tips that curve down. Makes it a little easier to do draw cuts. In this case, we still have belly, and it actually gets reasonably thin down here, so it's going to be a good slicer. It's also very consistently sharpened. What I don't like, it's the same issue as the smaller one. It says Zen K704 on there. I don't really think we need to see that on there. I think the blade looks really good, or would look a lot better without it. I also think the blade would look better with a tumbled finish, but that's just my preference, right? You can like what you want. As far as satin finishes go, this is all right. I can't complain too much. The spine of the blade is crowned, which is a nice little detail that I appreciate. People who like to strike ferro rods off the spine of their blades might not appreciate that as much. I appreciate it because I don't do that every single day, right? If I need to light a fire, I usually just use a match, or truthfully, everything just plugs in anymore. But I guess, you know, if you're out in the wilderness and all you have is just Tinder, you know, then maybe that's part of your life, right? Do with this information what you will, is what I usually say. Just like in the small one, they have chamfered down the edges and the inside of this hole. That's something I appreciate. What else? There was something else about the blade. Maybe not. I think this blade is done really well. Oh yeah, the jimping extends out to a nice spot. Comfortable, nice lock-in. Doesn't feel like you're going to drop it. Got some nice styling on this boy here, which is usually the case with Kunwu knives. We have a nice orange peel textured pattern. If you look closely here, it's kind of a bead blasted titanium. They could have just made this flat, but they didn't. They knocked these areas down and did some cool lines here, right? It's just a little bit of style, not too much, but they also didn't, you know, just kind of whatever. Here's a rectangle, you know? They didn't do that either. They also give you an actual Damascus pivot collar, which, yeah, it's okay. It's just a teeny tiny little bit of material, but it's nice that they did that. I appreciate that. It looks really good. It's just on one side, but it's nice that they did that. Seriously, I mean, we don't always get that, especially at this price point. Hardware looks good. Fit and finish all the way around is very good. It's the same that it usually is with Kunwu. Little backspacer here. We have a 3D milled pocket clip. Nice ramp right here, so easy in and out of the pocket. It's a little thin, a little pointy right here. I can't remember if I mentioned the shorter version review. You can fill the clip a little bit, but small price to pay, honestly. I think the clip looks good and it functions well. So this is an exposed frame lock, but it does have a steel lock bar insert that doubles as the over travel stop, so you don't have to worry about overextending it. You do have to worry about where your fingers are when you are flipping it. You do not want to be putting pressure on this lock bar. It's got a lanyard hole. Yay! Yay, say those 7 people. Yay for us. Congratulations. You can, you can hang your ornaments off of it, whatever you want to do. At least it's not in the way of the pocket clip. That's what's most important. The stop pin is actually attached to the blade. So it's 2 pins right there. You can see them kind of reflecting light in there. They run on a channel on the titanium scales on the inside. And, locked out, they impact either side. Or, I'm sorry, both sides. So this is an additional point of contact over the, the traditional just regular stop pin, right? A normal, it's like this. It's just that and the tang of the blade. It's just one contact point. Why does this matter? I like that you can get some good solidity and lockout, so no blade wobble, while still maintaining a very smooth pivot action. That seems to be the case when we're talking about external stops. There's one on each side. Whatever the stop pin setup is, if it's one additional point of contact versus just the tang of the blade touching the stop pin, right? It's not always the case, but it seems like more often than not, the knives that are always, or that are usually more solid and usually, able to be centered up with smooth action, it's some type of dual contact point setup at the back. And I like that. It can also potentially mitigate pressure away from the pivot if you're doing a little bit of awkward twisty cuts, right? But that's a very specialized circumstance. Nice solid lockup, no blade play up, down, left, or right, no lock stick, no pivot lash, smooth, consistent action. Nice medium detent, feels about the same as the small one. This guy's blade is just a teeny bit off center. Let's see if maybe it was me flipping it. I'm just going to tighten the pivot screw. You can always use the paper trick, which I'm not going to do today, but let's see if I just need to tighten this up. Yeah, you know what? I think, did it? Not quite. Let's give it another go here. Let's see what we can do. This may, boy, it's close though. Do I even want to get mad? I mean, I'm not going to get mad. It's really freaking close. If it is off, it's by a hair favoring this side over here. There's a trick you can do. I've got a short on it by loosening up the handle screws on the side that it is, the opposite side of where you want it to go. Loosen up the pivot, right? You put a piece of paper in there and wedge it the other way, the way you want it to go. Tighten everything back down, including the pivot screw. Pull the piece of paper out, back the pivot screw out, just enough to get the action smoothed up, and usually that blade will come back to center. That is usually the case. That's what I do to center my blades. I do it fairly often, right? So you want the things to come from the factory with centered blades, but it is not the end of the world if they are not centered. So there you go. All right, so what's the price on this? It's probably a lot more than the small one, right? Because small knife equals small money, and big knife equal big money. Nope, it's $10 more, which is that's just typical Kunwu. They're like, yeah, you can have the same thing, but it's bigger for $10 more. That's great. Titanium, orange peel textured titanium with a nice bead blasted finish, or at least that's what it looks like. We have a Timascus pivot collar, 3D milled titanium pocket clip. We have a reasonably nice satin finished LMAX blade that has, more importantly, been heat treated correctly, or at least within a reasonable range considering this is a production knife and not a custom knife, right? And then we have some internal milling, some good action, right? All the little things we expect. And this is essentially a knife that, most other companies would charge $250, $260 for, $210 through Kunwu. That is extremely fair. They're not beating out everybody, but they're beating out most of their competition in price. As it stands, Kunwu is still a severely underrated company. Everybody who has picked up Kunwu knives has been watching my content. All of you guys have just been like, oh my God, I love these, right? And it's awesome to see that, right? But hey, don't be on the fence about Kunwu. They're awesome. They make good stuff. These are being made by knife people, not people who are just throwing darts at a board going, yeah, let's put the thing on the thing and make a triangle this time, right? No, These are being made by knife people. It's being designed by a knife guy, right? And people who care and want to bring cool stuff to the community. You know, obviously operate a business and make some money, but bring cool stuff to the community that is high quality for a fair price. This is a recommendable knife. Basically, when it comes to the Zen, if you like big knives and you can legally carry them, get the full-size Zen. If you can't, or you just like smaller knives or whatever, right, or you want to save $10, spend it on gas or food or whatever, then go with the small one, right? Both of them are recommendable. This is going to go in my most recommended knives playlist. Very cool stuff. No surprise from Kunwu. Always excited to see what they're going to come out with next. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.